Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and I am really excited for today's video because after a long and hard-fought season, we did manage to hit rank 10. It's something I've really been working towards, so I'm super excited to be able to hit rank 10. And in today's video, I'll be showcasing the last 3 sets that I did that took me over the top to rank 10. And these battles were done live on stream in front of my viewers, so hitting rank 10 was especially sweet because I was able to hit it in front of you guys, my audience, so I definitely appreciate everyone who hung out with me on that stream and cheered me on to hit rank 10. So without further ado, let's hop into these battles. And we're hopping into the first battle. As you can see, we're at a rank of 2962 going in. In game number 1, we get a great lead against Galvantula because we're doing super effective there. It looks like they're lagging a little bit, and they swap into a Toxicroak. This is not ideal. Toxicroak is very much a core breaker for this team. I do still switch in the Blossom, and I call the bait successfully, which is huge. I should be able to now get to a Leaf Blade, which should pressure the Toxicroak quite a bit. So even if I can't keep switch, I'll at least be able to take a shield, which I am, and the Toxicroak is just going to counter down and take switch. And this is going to be tough here because Toxicroak can hit hard to both my Pokemon. I come in with Bastiodon and I throw Flamethrower just in an attempt to take it out before it throws He Shields because he knows he has a lot of energy on the Toxicroak, and this Mud Bomb is probably going to be taking out my Bastiodon. If it does take it out, I come in with Victory Bell and he has a Mud Bomb loaded. I am going to be shielding this up because that would do... Oh, it's actually a Sludge Bomb there. Switches in the Galvantula. And he actually resigns the game. So 1-0, we kicked the first game. We were able to get both shields early on, and that helped us win endgame. Game number 2, great lead with the Skarmory Lead. They swap into a Deoxys, and we're going to counter swap into our Blossom. Again, Deoxys is not something that we love to see on the safe swap, just because it is very tanky while also being decently spammy. So it is a really solid safe swap option in the current meta. We're going to be going for a Leaf Blade. This is almost surely going to be shielded because they want switch advantage back. Yep, they are able to shield that up. I'm going to shield myself because I am trying to take switch here. And I'm going to try and farm down, although I don't believe I switched fast enough. Yep, he is able to get to another one. So now since Vic is unshielded, basically my win condition is having something in the back that Vic can be without shield. So I needed to be a Mud Boy in back, and I should be able to win. Besides that, I'm going to be in a little bit of trouble because Vic is very glassy. I throw the Leaf Blade on the Skarmory and hop in with Bastiodon, and it's a Mud Boy. And we are able to farm it down and take the game. So that was basically our win condition at that point, and it came to be. So it ended up working out really well for us. Hopping into the third game of the first set, a Shadow Sableye on the lead. Not something I've seen before. Here I go in with Blossom. And he actually stays in and throws, which is an interesting choice. Connects with the Foul Play, then switches out into an Umbreon. And I should have realized at the time that part of the reason why he's staying in is it could be because he has one grass counter and he's keeping it in the back, so we'll have to see. Foul Play does connect, and I'm going to be coming in here with my Victory Bell, because at this point I realize if there's a grass counter, I do need to draw it out, but he shouldn't be able to switch quite yet. So if there is a grass counter, I should be able to Steamroller it. Brings out the Sableye, and this is a tell that it is not a grass counter. It is more than likely an Azumarill in back, something that Victory Bell does not want to see. So a bold choice by my opponent running 0 grass counters. That did not work out well for him because Vic is able to sweep. Alright, so we are able to take the third game. We're 3-0. Things are looking really, really good here. And we get another amazing lead in Altaria. But they safe swap Toxicroak. Toxicroak is so hard for this team. I actually go into Victory Bell. The reason being, I am going to need to use both shields, but if I have a Pokemon unshielded, I'd rather be Blossom than Victory Bell. I go for the Leaf Blade. Unfortunately, we see MP tie. That's a huge mistake by me, because you either want to get off the charge move before they throw, or hold on to your energy. I do undercharge, so I'm able to get one fast move of damage through, so I can hopefully get to a move to maybe threaten the Altaria when it comes back. I'm down 2 shields though, so things aren't looking great. The Altaria comes in, I can't quite get to a Leaf Blade. I'm coming with Bastiodon, they come in with Meganium. Yeah, this is going to be a tough one for sure. Meganium is going to be able to hit us for resisted damage, but they have 2 shields. So unfortunately, the writing's on the wall on this one. So it goes to show that even with a good lead is not necessarily the be-all, end-all there. So shucks. Okay. So they come back in with the Meganium, and they'll just need to get to an Earthquake, and that is going to be taking us out. So that is a good game. Unfortunately, we do drop game number 4. So if we can win this one, this is going to get us really, really close to rank 10. A Hypno Lead, that's a decent lead. They swap out into Galarian Stunfisk. We counter with our Blossom, and we can safely take 2 Rock Slides because Mudshot does almost no damage to Blossom. So they're going to have a very large amount of trouble farming us down. So we can safely take 2 Rock Slides, and then so long as we use our shields effectively, we should just be able to Razor Leaf down. So as I mentioned, we can safely no-shield both of these attacks. We are low, but as you can see, those Mudshots are doing almost no damage, so we'll be able to shield here and then farm down, and that way we'll still be on even shield, and I'll have kept switch advantage. So that way the Victory Bell doesn't see the Hypno. Just going to bring the Hypno back in. I'm going to be able to hit it with the Leaf Blade. This is going to do, a nice chunk of damage, so it all helps in the grand scheme of things, and one Confusion takes us out. We hop back in with the Bastiodon, and at this point, I'm just really hoping that he doesn't have Focus Blast. I'm going to no-shield this, because and it's a Shadow Ball, so no Focus Blast, thankfully. I'm going to be going for a Stone Edge of my own, and they do a quick swap into Azumarill. I have Victory Bell, and they're going to resign the game, which is fantastic. So we are able to take game number 5. We go 4-1 there, which is great. And we get to 29.98, so not quite. Hopping into the game 1 of the second set, Azumarill Lead, we're going to swap into our Blossom. And here, the fact that they're staying in, I should have realized this and shielded this. The reason why they're staying in here is they have only 1 grass counter and they don't want to bring it in. By me not shielding that Ice Beam, they're able to bring in the Sableye, and they're just going to be able to Shadow Claw down and keep switch advantage, so that way, I believe it's a Skarmory that ends up being in back. That Skarmory can be saved for the Victory Bell. So really nice heads up play by my opponent there that is going to help win them this game. Not to spoil anything, but they connect with the foul play, and I'll just be able to smack down the Sableye because none of its attacks really hurt Bastiodon all that much. Yep, foul play connects, and we're able to farm down. I'm going to bring out the Azumarill, I bring in the Victory Bell. Oh, sorry, it's a Marowak in back. My apologies. I misremembered there. It is. But basically, yeah, the same principle still applies. They had 1 grass counter, and they did not want to bring it in there. And here's where, I'm not sure if they're lagging or if they were a paid actor, but they just stopped attacking. They were just like, you know what, I'll just give them the game. So shout out to them. I'm not sure if that was lag or what, but I'll take it. Hopping into game number 2 of set number 2, Swampert Lead. It's not ideal, and they have a Muck. And a Muck is going to be able to wall Blossom pretty well. They're going for the Sludge Wave, and that one-hit KOs us, which is unfortunate. We're going to wait out our clock and come in with Bastiodon and try and farm down, but we're probably going to have to throw a charge move, to be honest, just because Muck's charge moves add up rather quickly. They're going for the Dark Pulse, and you can see that does do a nice chunk, and with Snarl, they get to it so quickly. I throw here, so they're 1 before their Dark Pulse, and they actually shield up, so interesting decision there. I'm going to let this go, and ooh, this is going to be really close as to whether I can farm this down. I don't think I'm going to be able to. Yep, not able to, so I'm just going to let this go as well. Dark Pulse connects, and from here, I'm going to be able to farm down. I'm going to bring in the Skarmory in, and I have a Victory Bell, so that is GG from there. They were running an anti-Grass Hole team, and it did its job. It countered Grass Hole, so well done, well done. As I resigned the matches, I realized there's not a win con at that point. So we're 1-1, hopping into the 3rd game of the second set, a Venusaur Lead. Venusaur is another problem spot for this team, just because it has the ability to hit all 3 Pokemon for neutral, and I don't really have a lot of good attacks to counter. I have Flamethrower, but Bastiodon charges very slowly. So I soak 1 charge move, I throw the Flamethrower, then I quick swap into Blossom. And here I have to decide if they're baiting, and they're not baiting. Oh, that hurts. They bring out the Galarian Stunfisk, and they throw before I can get to a charge move, so they smartly realized that Mudshotting me down was not the best idea. I'm going to have to come in with the Victory Bell, because Bastiodon cannot see this. I do get an extra Razor Leaf through, so I'm hoping that'll be enough so that way they won't get to an extra Rock Slide. A little bit of lag there, but we are able to farm it down, which is nice. They come in with the Venusaur, and I'm just needing to get to 2 Leaf Blades here, one to get the shield and one to take them out. First Leaf Blade connects, and I swap in a Bastiodon to catch the charge move, which is fantastic. They're able to soak the Frenzy Plant damage, and a Deoxys comes out. This is going to be tough. I do have an energy lead. What I need to do is get to 2 Leaf Blades. Although in hindsight, what I should have probably done instead is thrown an Acid Spray here. I may have hit a better shot with Acid Spray. As you can see, he gets low enough to the point where had I Acid Sprayed, I would have been able to take the win there. But unfortunately, we CMP tie as I got to 2. So he is able to take me out, and unfortunately, my mistake ends up costing me that game. So we are now 1-2 in this set. Things are not looking great, and a Mew lead. Mew is commonly running Flame Charge nowadays, so that's not a lead that this team likes to see, because obviously it can hit the back line for super effective. They swap in a Galarian Stunfisk, and this is fine. Blossom can go to work on the Stunfisk. We've seen this matchup before. We can take 2 Rock Slides, shield once, and so long as we switch in fast enough, we can farm down. And we're going to let that Rock Slide go. I know it's not the most entertaining matchup in the world, as I just slowly raise a leaf away. And I actually may not have... Yeah, I realized that I switched in too late, so I actually have to give up switch advantage there. And I'm going to come in with the Victory Bell, see if we can farm down. Unfortunately, cannot farm down, so that is unfortunate. So that goes to show that Blossom definitely would not have been able to farm down. They bring out the Mew. I throw the Leaf Blade, hopefully just to get the shield or do a nice amount of damage. Gets the shield, quick swap into Bastiodon, and they have a Registeel. And even though we have a bit of an energy lead, this is looking like it is going to be a good game, because Registeel does outpace Bastiodon, and a Focus Blast will take us out. So even though I shield this up, they should CMP tie us as I get to the Flamethrower with the Focus Blast. Yep, and there's the Focus Blast that is going to be taking us out, and from this health, Victory Bell is not going to be able to farm it down before it hits us with Flash Cannon, so this is going to be a GG. So unfortunately, I have to get to 29.98. We are now 1-3. We're really needing to win this next game, so that way we can salvage the set, go 2-3, and not drop too much. Hopping into game number 5, and we get a good lead, Alolan Marowak. Okay, we'll take this. And they counter swap into a Shift Tree. Shift Tree can be a difficult safe swap for this team, but how I like to play it is I like to stand with Bastiodon, let them hit me with a Leaf Blade, and then switch into Blossom. The reason being, those smackdowns do a ton of damage. As you can see, the Shift Tree is already below half health, so that way it makes the matchup a lot easier for Blossom, because I can just shield once and then raise your leaf down and maintain my switch advantage, even though our switch clocks are a little off. As the Marowak comes back in, I'm going to be throwing the Leaf Blade. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but my goal is just to stall out the switch clock, and we actually get a shield, so that works out fantastically. And they're going to farm us down, coming right back in with Bastiodon, and they're going to be throwing a charge move. It is the Bone Club, which is super effective, and they do an amazing swap onto Meganium, so really, really well done there. Oh my goodness. So really nice job catching that onto their Meganium. I'm going to shield this up. It is an Earthquake, so huge call. And now I'm starting to see there could be a win condition. If I can get 2 Leaf Blades here, then one will get the shield and one should be able to take it out, just because Shadow Victory Bell has a massive attack stat. We get the shield and we're able to stack those back to back. Fingers crossed, they should hopefully be able to take out the Marowak, and it barely cannot. It's on 1 HP. We're going to have to try and survive this move. It's Shadow Ball. We survive with 1 HP and we take it out. So that best buddy boost coming in clutch. We claim it. We're at 29.85. So a 2-3 there, and it's coming down to this third set. Skarmory Lead. That's a good lead. They swap into an Azumarill. Unfortunately, it looks like I'm a little slow on the switch there, and I don't get an extra Razor Leaf through. So I won't be able to farm this down before they get to a second Ice Beam. I am going to have to throw my Leaf Blade. So I throw right where it should trigger a CMP tie, so they'll have a decision to make on whether to shield and trade shields, which they do, or let it go. So they decide to trade shields. I'm going to match with the shield so I can keep switch advantage, because I want to keep that Skarmory away from my Victory Bell. They're going to come back in with the Skarmory, and I'm able to get to a Leaf Blade. Even though this is double resisted, hey, damage is damage. We'll take it. So They're able to farm down. I come back in with the Bastiodon. Building up some extra. They're going for a charge attack. I'm letting this go because nothing it has can really hurt me. The worst case is Flash Cannon, which they have. And I'm going to over farm there and throw the Flamethrower as they're in the middle of their Air Slash so they can't switch out. And that actually does connect, which is fantastic. I'm going to let this go as well, even though it's probably a Flash Cannon. That's fine. Let's see what's in back. A Swampert. So that is a GG right there. We're able to Razor Leaf down the rest of the team and take the win. So 1-0. Things are looking good. Hopping into the second game of the third set. Umbreon Lead. This is a bit of an interesting one. How I like to do it is I like to stay in for a bit and have them throw some energy and get some of their health with a charge move and then swap in just to make Blossom's life easier because Umbreon is very, very tanky. I do overfarm a little bit extra, just waiting for them to throw their energy. They threw the Foul Play, and now I'm pretty safe to throw my Stone Edge, and then I'm going to be swapping into Blossom. Stone Edge connects, and I quick swap into Blossom. And they come out with a Skarmory, so we have baited out the Flyer, which is fantastic. They're looking to farm us all the way down, so we'll be able to get to the Dazzling Gleam. I like throwing the Dazzling Gleam over 2 Leaf Blades. The main reason being is rather than taking the time of 2 charge moves, it takes the time of 1 charge move, and so that way the Skarmory is switch locked into the Bastiodon for a longer amount of time. He's going for back-to-back charge moves here, and we already have that Skarmory pretty low, which is fantastic. He charges up a Sky Attack and switches out. Azumarill comes in, and we counter with our Victory Bell. We'll be able to shield once and farm all the way down. I do want to have a Leaf Blade ready for the Skarmory because it's low enough where a Leaf Blade would take it out and we should win CMP here. So Skarmory is going to come back. We're going to hit him with the Leaf Blade. This is more than likely going to be getting a shield. Does get a shield. Unfortunately, he overtaps and we're able to farm him down. We're going to be able to shield up here. The Umbreon is going to be able to get to another charge move, but a Foul Play probably won't KO us from here. It's going to be close though. We'll have to see. Foul Play comes through. Yep, doesn't quite KO us, and we're able to farm down and take the win. So 2-0. Oh man, it's looking good. Hopping into game number 3, Obstagoon Lead. This is not ideal. We're going to swap into Blossom. They're staying in, and this is going to be a Night Slash. My guess is they're fishing for a boost before they decide if they're switching out. No Night Slash boost, which is really nice. I go for a Leaf Blade, and they catch it on a Azumarill. Definitely an odd choice. They do shield that up, and the Azumarills, yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there, but I go for another Leaf Blade. I mean, why not? They're over farming on the Azumarill, not sure why. They should have gotten to an Ice Beam before I got to my Leaf Blade. Honestly, I'm going to shield this up at this point. I can take Switch Advantage and keep that Obstagoon away from my Bastiodon. It's worth it. Able to farm down and take Switch Advantage, which is massive. I now have a Shield Advantage and Switch Advantage, so things are looking really good for me in this game. They come in with the Skarmory. I'm able to get to a Leaf Blade. Again, it's not going to do much, but hey, damage is damage. We will take it. It'll make Bastiodon's life a bit easier. We are going to wait out our switch clock just to be safe and come in with the Bastiodon. Bastiodon comes in. They bring an Obstagoon. I bring out the Victory Bell, and they resign. So we are 3-0 right now. If we can manage a 4-1, that will guarantee a rank 10. 3-2 is a maybe. They lead Scrafty, we switch out into Blossom, and Scrafty is another problem child for this team because with Power Up Punch, it can just counter down Blossom, although they actually go for a Foul Play, then switch in a Tentacruel. Is this Halloween Cup? Like, what's going on here? So they have a Tentacruel, which is super interesting. I'm going to wait my clock and come in with Bastiodon. Bastiodon comes in, and they're probably going to hit us with a Hydro Pump here. I'm going to let this go. A Hydro Pump will not take us out. It is the Hydro Pump, and I should just be able to smack down from here before they get to an Acid Spray. Yep, able to smack down, which is great. They're going to come back in with the Scrafty. Going for a Flamethrower. Does get the shield, and we swap into Victory Bell, and they have a Confusion Cresselia. So this is going to be a good game to my opponent, as they had a Confusion user in back. And unfortunately, even though I do have 2 shields, Bastiodon just doesn't have the attacks that needed to take out a Scrafty. I will be able to farm down here, but even if they didn't have a shield, a Flamethrower just maybe does half of Scrafty's health from here. So That's not going to be enough, and I'm just going to let this go as I realize there is not a win condition for me. So 3-1. It all comes down to the final game, just like last season. Let's see if we can do this. All right, against Sage Grouse 2-6, Bastiodon into Cradily. Interesting. I say swap Blossom just to see if I can bait out a grass counter. Charge move coming through. Pretty sure Cradily doesn't have anything that can hurt me. Yep, that's a Stone Edge. That hits for neutral. They bring out a Shadow Hypno. Huge, they brought it out now, so that way that doesn't have to see my Victory Bell. That is fantastic. They shield that up, and they're just going to be able to Confusion down right before I get to my Leaf Blade. I'm going to wait the clock, then come in with Bastiodon here. Yep, I come in with Bastiodon. And again, I'm just calling no Focus Blast. Fire Punch. Perfect. Yeah, I should probably learn the counts for Hypno at some point, but I haven't quite yet just because I haven't run one. Back-to-back Fire Punches, that's fine. And we know we can handle Cradily, just depends what else they have. They're waiting their clock too. Toxicroak, not what we want to see. We just go for a charge move just to try and get some chip damage. They shield it up. Now we come in with Victory Bell. We have a 2 shield advantage here, which is massive. We're going to be able to shield this up. And what we'll need to do is a charge move should take out the Toxicroak. They try and sack into Cradily. I overfarm a little bit and I go for the charge move. Just because I realize from here I can safely farm down the Toxicroak, and we're able to do it. A 4-1 set. This is going to be enough. As you can see, we hit rank 10 at 30-20, which is fantastic. We unlock the pose. As you can see here, we have the pose equipped right there, and the Pikachu Libre, my second ever Pikachu Libre. So I am very, very happy about it. This is a long season filled with a lot of ups and downs, but we got there, and I'm very, very, very happy about it. And I'm glad I was able to accomplish this on stream with a bunch of you guys watching me. That made it even more cool. So thank you guys so much for watching and for supporting me as always. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, now, I mean, the sweating's over and I can just have fun. So thank you guys so much for everything, and I'll see you guys in the next video.